Hi guys, Sanjay this side. So in this video we're going to learn how to do the method overloading in WCF. Okay, so here I had already opened the WCF service. Okay, let's define the operation contract inside the interface. That let's do that. We'll define one operation contract. Okay, and we will give we will define that operation by the name of sum, and in which I'm passing integer x comma integer y. This is my first operation, and the second one is I will define over here, which I will use double. Okay, so now we can see I defined two operation contract within the interface with the same name sum, out of which one is accepting the type uh, parameters of type integer, and another one is using double. So now I will going to implement it over here. Let's see. Some x I'm defining, then I'm defining integer y, and okay, now I will return x plus y. This is our first method that we defined. The second one is double using, and now the way in our previous video we had done the same way, I had defined the two operations, you can see, and the C# way I'm trying to do function overloading over here. So with the same name functions but having different type of parameters. Okay, so now let's run this and see what will happen next. So it is running over here. We can see it is throwing an exception of invalid operation exception, and rest we can see cannot have two parameters in the same contract with the same name. So WCF is throwing exception. So how to overcome this exception? So now we will do the reason. First we want to know the reason why it is throwing this exception. The reason is that you cannot overload method to do with the fact that WSDL, web service description language, does not support the same overloading concept that is present inside the C#. You can, okay, so if it is in if you will try to overload this function in C#, then it is perfectly fine, it will run perfectly fine, but over here in WCF it is not allowing us to do the same way. Okay, because when we are invoking over the web methods, or HTTP, and arguments are at that time arguments are optional and are initialized with the default values if they are missing. So this way that invocation of both methods could look exactly the same over the HTTP, and so let's see how to overcome this problem that uh, WCF is saying. So over here we can define, one second, we can overcome this problem by using name. Okay, so we need to provide some name so that by this name we can access this method at the client side. Okay, so I will give it some using integer it name. Okay, and the second one I will give name, it's some using double. So let's try it and run it. Now let's see what will happen. Now see, now it's not throwing any more error. So now we can check it like I'm passing 1 next and 8 and 9, and we'll invoke it. Say yes, the value is 9. So it is like perfectly okay. It is running. So now we'll try to consume these two functions at the client side. We will try to consume it in our application. So what we need to do is like this is the previous project that we has used in our previous tutorial. We need to update the service reference because we had already made few changes in our like the service that we had defined previously. So we need to update the, see, now it is saying like, so I had given this. Okay, so we'll use hello world service, the namespace name. Now I'm going to use it over here and we will see how we'll access it. So first of all we need to create an object of client name. So obj client equals to new service client. So by using this object we're going to, instead of accessing the functions by its names, means by the name of the function, we're going to access it by the parameter that we had defined inside the operation contract by name itself. Okay, so now I will do it like this. See, over here we are getting two, this sum using int that we had defined. If you remember, we had defined over here some using int and some using double. Okay, so if you'll see, we are getting it over here. Let's check it out. Like some using int is this and some using double is this. So now I will use this from, okay, now I will pass the same values from here and we'll use it to the another one also and we'll check. So over here I am passing 8,8 and we're going to use it with like tjx. I'm going to hold this value over here. tjy, or we can show it on the UI itself. I'm just using my previous project. Okay, so we can check it itself. Let's see, on the same button click like I had used in my previous video. Let's check it out and let's see what we'll get over here. So on the same button click I'm using this. Let's see what it will give. So here we are using that integer one and let's see, like, see, it is giving 9 and this one is getting 16. So here is the way we can perform method overloading in WCfServices. So this is the way, this is the syntax, how we can do that. Okay, so that's all for today video. Okay, we will get back on another part.